even though I feel like it's kind of a stigma to go out and say, hey, I don't get this, or hey, I need help, my parents eventually pushed me to say, listen, you're getting the same result every time and it's not working for you. Why don't you go out and actually ask for help? And my teacher was wonderful, like, always kind of really gave me the resources I needed. They said, I'm here after school at this time, or tutorial, I can help you. And even the tutorial center has, had tutors in that specific area that I needed. I had all the resources in front of me, but I was, I guess, too afraid or didn't really want to own up to the fact that I needed the help to go get it. So when I finally did get help and, kind of did face, I don't get this, and wasn't afraid to kind of raise my hand and say, could you explain that again? That's when I started seeing results. And I feel like that's a lot about what growth mindset is that in order to grow, you shouldn't be doing the same thing or trying to do the same thing and get a different result. That's not how it works. It's really kind of going out there, even if you feel like, oh my God, I'm totally admitting that I'm not good at this. That's the way you get help, and that's the way you actually start getting good at something.
It was hard at first, but I would say that being able to overcome the fear of like talking to my teacher, talking to the students in my class, and actually becoming like a part of the class, it was really helpful for me to be able to do my work and sit in on like conversations during like Socratic seminars and really feel comfortable, because for me that's how I do well in school, is I feel comfortable with the class and with people that are in there. And I think that played a big role in how I was able to do so well my second semester and actually end with like a B in the class. I mean, it's not going to be easy, but that's the fun part about it, Try it, take a chance. You might surprise yourself, to be honest. And I honestly don't think anyone would regret it, because the feeling that you get inside that you were able to take on the challenge and actually succeed is so amazing that I think everyone should experience that in school.
So the kinds of responsibilities and challenges that I've faced this year have been ranging from, having to lead a rehearsal for 80 people, and also understanding how to motivate a diverse group towards a common goal, but also leading and supporting band members through difficult situations, whether it's conflict resolution or other needs. And the way I managed to do this is by understanding that being a leader isn't necessarily managing everything perfectly, but making sure that I am my best every single day. And it's been very important for me to understand that I can't be everyone's best friend, but I am there to try to cultivate mutual respect between me and other people. I found this out firsthand from trying to do everything for everyone, and it wasn't until I was so weighted down by all the things I was trying to do that I realized I simply can't do everything. And through this, I've come to learn that it's okay to ask for help and to draw on the resources available to me, whether it was my leadership staff team in the band, the school's administration, or even resources outside of school in the community. And more importantly, I learned that it's okay to make mistakes sometimes, but that you have to be able to learn from them and move on. And the only way I've really been able to make it through everything has been through an understanding of how essential choice and passion are, that everything I do must be surrounded by my own choice and passion, helping me grow not only as a leader but also as a person.
That was perfect.
And when I bombed my first chemistry test my sophomore year, instead of just shutting down and getting frustrated and giving up in my class, I decided to change my interpretation of my quiz score, and I decided to change my mindset about it. Instead of just being, okay, well, I'm going to do it and get good grades just because that's the kind of person I am, I changed it to where I would make it a challenge, where I knew that it was definitely possible, but it was going to be hard. And so the biggest thing for me was being able to go back into my textbook each night and review all my notes and rewrite them each night and see which critical points I was missing and going through the examples. And I think through that mindset where I set it to be that I was going to grow as a person and grow in my study skills, it definitely helped me, just because I learned to communicate with my teacher more. And I definitely learned study skills, how to review, and how to study. And I think that was the biggest change for me.
It's hard to balance everything out, but I know that at the end of the day, like at the end of the dark tunnel, I know that I'll see light, and that's what keeps me going. It's hard to see a bad grade in a test or an essay, but I tell myself that I'll do better the next time, and I know that there's always area for improvement, and that's what keeps me going. Sometimes I do feel like giving up and just not caring about anything, but at the same time, I want to be someone that people can get inspired by.
Basically, when I was the younger boy in first, second grade, I would stutter with simple words like do, because. So and like a lot of my classmates excluded me from stuff because they thought because they were perfect at just general speaking, and I had a lot of trouble also, and I still kind of do today, but that's beside the point. But like to overcome this, and I like in my free time, I practice reading books out loud and such, and just reading anything I can in the house so I can get better and perfect it. And over probably a course of a year, I probably got it down, so my speech is somewhat normal now, which is great. Because because the growth mindset really helped me, because without my willingness and my dedication to try to overcome this obstacle, I wouldn't have probably overcome it ever. Well, maybe it would went off eventually, but yeah.
When I was a freshman, I joined an organization called Future Business Leaders of America. And a really big part about FBLA is competitive events. But we had a really big disadvantage coming from a first-year chapter, because our school doesn't offer business classes or business departments, and I had to compete against a lot of schools who had already had 20 to 30 years of legacy, and so they already knew what they were doing. And so I went into this competition, and I didn't know what I was doing, but we somehow got 6th place at the sectional competition. And then my following year as a sophomore, I ended up making the state competition, but we ended up losing at states. And so at both those points, my mindset was really like, how do I win, or how do I at least get onto the next level of competitive events? And so I would say that I really let failure encourage me rather than discourage me, and it really made me want to do better. And in order to do so, I would find out what textbooks other business classes were using, and I would read those textbooks. I would watch winning successful teams, like their case study presentations, and I would try to emulate their characteristics. And I would say that by the time junior year came around, my mindset actually kind of shifted, because instead of just caring about winning, I decided, you know what, I kind of need to pass this information on, because I realized that I was going to graduate soon, and I didn't want my years to failure to kind of go to waste. And so when my mindset changed from how do I win to more of how can I pass this on, we actually ended up doing better, and we won the national competition. And I really attribute that to the fact that I ended up kind of letting my passion for entrepreneurship become more prevalent than just my need to win.